is up, guys? I just wanted to talk about my experience having practiced semen retention for about 4 years now, just all of the incredible benefits and transformations I've experienced from doing this. Now, when I say that I've gone 4 years of practicing semen retention, I'm not claiming to have never ejaculated in those 4 years. It happens from time to time for me, and just overall, I've been focused on containing my sexual essence and working to not just, throw it out there all the time, which is extremely important as a man, I feel. So, I used to be a very nervous, shy person. I was not very confident. In social situations, I just tended to feel a lot of anxiety, especially towards the opposite sex. I used to have a lot of trouble interacting with the opposite sex. If I was attracted to a woman, I was just terrified of approaching her and talking to her. So, and this has totally flipped around for me now. I feel very confident in social situations, engaging with people, and the opposite sex I'm no longer afraid to interact with. And also, I found myself attracting a lot more females. And a lot of people who are practicing NoFap and semen retention will tell you this, that they're, all of a sudden these women are approaching them. And so, which makes sense, because when you're constantly ejaculating, you're draining yourself of a lot of energy, of course, but physically you're draining yourself of hormones. A lot of our hormones are produced with our semen in the testicles, and so when you're constantly ejaculating, you're not allowing the body to build these up, you're just depleting yourself of them. All your testosterone and things like that are just gone, and your body can't keep up with the production when you're ejaculating every day. So once you start retaining your semen, you build up these hormones. I started feeling a lot more masculine once I started holding on to my sperm instead of ejaculating it. And I think the opposite sex really picks up on this, and it becomes obvious after you start retaining for longer and longer periods of time. You will just have women being attracted to you. So that's one benefit. Another benefit is just the increased confidence, focus, and drive I've had in my life. I used to be pretty kind of lazy, I would say. Just I didn't have much clarity in my life. I didn't have much. I didn't have a very clear direction that I was going at. I just felt like I was kind of living in this fog. And so once I started, this is a result of several things. I got into practicing Qigong and yoga and meditation, but also semen retention as part of that. So really it's a combination of the things that the practices I've developed in my life. But once I started holding on to my semen, when you decide to no longer ejaculate, you're making a decision. You're strengthening your willpower, and the more, if you have the desire, sort of that unconscious desire to ejaculate as the sexual energy builds up, the more focused you become on retaining that energy, the more willpower you're exercising, and that carries into every other aspect of your life. So this is what I was noticing. Suddenly I had all of this focus, all of this drive to accomplish the things I wanted to accomplish. I do a lot of creative work, and so this energy really helped me hone my creativity and focus on my projects and see them out to the end. So I've just had so much more clarity, so much more concentration and focus in my life since I've been practicing semen retention. I quit sort of taking substances like marijuana, even caffeine. I quit because all of the energy I was building up, I just felt, I felt great all the time. I feel like I'm high 24/7 just on this incredible energy. Of course, I feel a lot of part and due to my Qigong and yoga practice, but semen retention is also part of that. So, which leads me to another point, in that I believe that if you're going to practice semen retention, it's really important to be doing some sort of exercise, at least, at the very minimal, physical exercise like running, working out, lifting weights, whatever. But I think the more energetic practices, yoga, Qigong, and meditation, have really helped me to cultivate the sexual energy and move it throughout my body. To me, that's the most important part of my semen retention practice is, not just shutting off ejaculation, but recycling that energy, doing practices to move it throughout the body and really supercharge the body with the creative sexual energy. And also, in my years of practicing semen retention, I never quit sexual activity. And this is through my, my sexual kung fu training. Also, what I teach now is how to separate orgasm and ejaculation, so that you still have all the pleasure and sexual connection, but without ejaculating, without being drained from it, which I think is very important for a man to learn. So my sex life also has improved tremendously from practicing semen retention, in that I really amplified my sexual experiences by retaining my semen. I think a lot of men become focused on ejaculation during their sexual experiences. So once that focus shifts and you're instead just a part of the whole process, the whole sexual experience becomes orgasmic, and you can circulate this energy throughout your body, and there's never a point of ejaculation, then your energy's gone and you have to go to sleep or whatever. That never happens, so you can keep having sex as long as you want. So semen retention has been an incredible thing for me. It's been life-changing, and I highly recommend any man practice it. And it doesn't have to be something ridiculous like you expect you're never going to ejaculate again. I think a lot of guys get into NoFap and semen retention having that expectation. I did in the beginning, honestly, and then I was only disappointed when I would have a wet dream or lose control during sexual activity, whatever, and have an ejaculation. I would feel guilty, I'd feel disappointed. And once you remove that and just be okay with it, be like, okay, I ejaculated, but I'm just going to, build up my sexual energy again and retain it. And that's what it's really about, is just having that intention of containing your sexual energy and not just throwing it around. And so, even if you can only hold on to it for a couple weeks at a time, that's all right. You're still getting much more benefit from that than if you were ejaculating all the time. So it really is an incredible thing to do. I highly recommend it. So I've got some other videos on sexual practices, separating orgasm from ejaculation, and I hope this video helps you in some way and inspires you to practice semen retention. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.